What happens when you put Caitlin Clark at Madison Square Garden with NBA legends and give her a microphone? Pure magic. Caitlin didn't hold back in her amazing NBA on NBC debut. While the WNBA veterans are busy making impossible demands and destroying the league's momentum with their trash CBA proposals, Clark is out here showing everyone exactly why she's the future of basketball. She's not just bridging the WNBA and NBA gap, she's completely erasing it. And the jealous old players who spent 2 years trying to dim her light, they're about to learn what real star power looks like. Are you excited to see Caitlin regularly on NBC? Let me know down in the comments below. Clark, listen, she challenged Jamal Crawford to a friendly game of NBC. You're going to be surprised maybe who gets to win, but just know she sat a lot of shots from the logo. The game of NBC, their playful twist on horse, started with Jamal Crawford looking confident. Here's a 3-time NBA Sixth Man of the Year with handles that made defenders look foolish for over a decade. Crawford stepped onto that NBC set thinking he was about to give Caitlin Clark a basketball lesson on national television. You could see it in his smile, that casual swagger of someone who's played with and against the best players in the world. If our roster could hold another one down, it's the WNBA All-Star and Caitlin Clark. And guess what? We had our own Jamal Crawford and Zora Stevenson welcome her in, but the NBC way. Grown up, some called it pig, some called it horse, the kids' game. Today, we're calling it NBC. All right, house rules are set. Who gets the first shot? You go first. Left-hand free throw. That's crazy. Wow, this could go anywhere. Clark walked up to take her first shot knowing millions of people were watching. One bad miss, and she'd become a meme by morning. The pressure was real. This wasn't Iowa's Carver Hawkeye Arena where every fan loved her. This wasn't even Gainsbridge Fieldhouse where Fever fans chanted her name. This was live television with NBA legends watching every move. Okay, Bill, there we go. Cash. Nope. It is. Zora's in. He's in trouble. Underneath the leg layer. Gosh, I see some. Yes, yes. She started firing from her signature range, those logo three-pointers that made her famous, the same shots that broke college basketball records and carried Iowa to back-to-back national championship games. Clark stepped back to what NBC called Caitlin range and let it fly like she was still wearing that Iowa jersey. Her form stayed exactly the same. Feet set, follow-through, perfect ball rotating with that familiar backspin. That's the one. Sure. No, no, no. Do you believe in magic or what? I know you create some all the time. This is for game. This is for game. All right, there's literally 0% chance you make this again. That's our welcome to the NBC moment. There we go, feeling it. She knew it right away. Oh, this could be a quick NBC. Wow, the warm-up was mine. The win? Uh-oh. All right, ugly not cling. Uh-oh. Crawford tried matching her from those distances. You could see him thinking about it, measuring the shot, knowing he needed to hit from way outside his comfort zone. Most NBA players don't regularly practice shots from the logo. They don't need to. But Clark lives out there. She's been making those shots since high school, turning impossible attempts into routine makes. In. Guess what? In a game, that would still count for a point. It would. It absolutely would. Can you get this out the net? Now he's talking junk. Uh-oh. Okay. Uh-oh. There we go. Not at all. I don't like, yep. He's nervous. Game. The banter between them made everything better. Clark was cracking jokes, trading one-liners with an NBA legend like they'd been friends for years. No nerves, no intimidation, just pure confidence. She belonged in this moment, and everyone watching could feel it. Crawford was laughing, clearly enjoying her personality just as much as her shooting ability. You like to double down. That's good. All right, okay. One leg. Tie game, innit? Short. Yeah. All right. Surely good. Yeah. All right. NB. That looks good, too. Okay. Well, here comes B. All right, NB, here we go. Crawford kept trying to keep up, but Clark's comfort shooting from distances that make most players nervous became obvious to everyone watching. Half-court shots looked routine.
She proved she's ready for any stage basketball has to offer. The cameras loved her, the audience responded to her, and the analysts respected her knowledge. Her media takeover was just getting started. Clark dropped Luka Doncic's name like she was talking about the weather. NBA analysts sitting around that table weren't ready for her to casually mention one of the league's biggest superstars as someone she actively studies. Their faces said everything. Here's a WNBA player putting herself in the same conversation as a guy who averages 30-point triple-doubles.
Yeah. I'm curious, Caitlin, you said it's your first Knicks game, but I know you watch the league. You love ball. Like, you just watched the game. Is there a player or someone you watch even more specifically? Because there's things in this game maybe you would want to add to yours in the league?
Man, I think Luka's amazing, and he's incredible. I think the way he can not only score the ball, but also the way he passes.
She didn't just name-drop Luka for attention. Clark broke down exactly what she learns from watching him play. She explained how Luka manipulates defenders and creates space in ways that most players never master. Clark said he's not the fastest, he's not the most athletic, but he can get his defender to move where he wants him to go, and he takes up that space. And he does a really good job of either keeping the defender behind him or keeping him to the side. Clark's analysis went deeper than surface observations. She admitted her own weakness and how Luka's approach could fix it.
I think that's something I can certainly learn from. Like, I always kind of want to run away from the defense rather than absorbing the contact and taking up the space that they give me. So I think obviously he's pretty incredible. He averages like a 30-point triple-double. So he makes it look pretty easy, but I can promise you it's not that easy.
Yeah. Her breakdown of Luka's step-back technique showed she studies basketball at a level most players never reach. Clark praised his all-around impact, calling him amazing and incredible, while highlighting his dual threat as both scorer and passer. She pointed out his statistical dominance, mentioning he averages like a 30-point triple-double, while acknowledging how effortless he makes those achievements look. Carmelo Anthony jumped in with his own comparison.
It would be Luka for me. The way that you're able to play in that open court, to see the vision that you have, to be able to shoot at the drop of a dime, to be able to pull up across half court, you keep the defensive thinking every single time, not knowing what you want to do. And again, you have that too. In that pick and roll, keeping them in jail, and then understanding how to operate out of that, you have it. You have it. So I would agree with it, say Luka. Yeah.
Okay. The similarities became obvious once you heard Clark explain them. Both players control tempo through basketball IQ rather than athleticism. They make their teammates better through creative passing. They can pull up from anywhere on the court without warning. They manipulate defenses through positioning and court vision. Clark's confidence in comparing herself to an NBA All-Star wasn't arrogance. She was stating facts about how she approaches the game. Her strategic thinking mirrors Luka's methods. Both rely on skill and intelligence over pure physical gifts. Luka himself had previously called Clark the woman Steph Curry. The mutual respect between these elite players showed Clark operates on a different level than typical WNBA comparisons. Career year 3. The evolution of Caitlin Clark's game is, what? It's funny because I was just looking back at some old videos that from when I was at Iowa, and I can just tell how much my body's changed. But I think in a good way. You have to be stronger. It's a much more physical league. So I think that, and then obviously, I almost only appeared in 13 games last year. So more than anything, I'm just itching to get back out on the court and kind of feel like myself again. And I've been putting in a lot of hard work, and I got USA basketball coming up. So looking forward to that too. Yeah. I was happy to see you. Yes. Yes, sir. Right. You get a couple Indiana people together, and then you can't, understood what was happening to them, right? They understood. They understood who to bring to the deck. By citing Luka as her inspiration, Clark proved she's not just playing women's basketball, she's playing basketball at the highest possible level. The basketball world finally understood that Clark sees no ceiling for her game. She studies the best players on the planet and adapts their techniques to her own style. While Clark was charming NBA legends at Madison Square Garden, jealous WNBA veterans were working overtime to blow up their own league. The same weekend she was proving herself on national television, veteran players were making impossible demands that could cancel the entire 2025 season. Their timing couldn't have been worse or more obvious. And then welcome to the team, Caitlin Clark. Yes, first time at MSG for a Knicks game, so it's pretty cool. I know, it's our first Knicks game. First time feeling the atmosphere. We got to get you to play on this court one day. We have to talk to Matt Adam about that. Can we make it mellow? Honestly, if there's someone, even if it's a preseason game, we got to get it done. I don't think the Liberty will want to move a game over here, but we'll play anybody. It'll be fun. These players spent 2 years doing everything possible to erase Clark's impact. They fouled her harder than necessary. They dismissed her achievements. They complained about new fans. They acted like Clark was ruining their precious little club instead of saving it from irrelevance. Now they're willing to destroy the whole league rather than admit she's the reason anyone cares about women's basketball again. The WNBA Players Association negotiations reveal how disconnected these veterans are from reality. They're demanding 30% of gross revenue when the league barely makes a profit. Most WNBA teams lose money every year. The league exists because NBA owners subsidize it out of goodwill. These players want to negotiate like they're LeBron James when they're playing in half-empty arenas that Clark single-handedly filled. Our CBA is so dumb right now that, it's heading towards a lockout. So no progress. No, just nothing. Honestly, nothing. We get weekly emails from the PA side of things, and it's just so dumb. Yeah, dumb, dumb, dumb. The conflict of interest situation gets even worse when you look deeper.
Veterans like Breonna Stewart and Nafisa Collier owned rival leagues while pretending to negotiate in good faith for the WNBA. They're literally competing against their own employers. How are they supposed to fight for the WNBA's future when they're invested in alternative basketball leagues? Their public statements reveal the jealousy that's been eating them alive since Clark arrived. They attack new fans for not knowing enough basketball history.
They dismiss Clark's record-breaking achievements as media hype. They act like the increased attention and revenue happened by accident. The old guard refuses to acknowledge that one player changed everything for their sport. Some of the rhetoric I've heard from their side has been a little bit troublesome. You know, like when a deal is presented that's over $1 million max salary and revenue share, it's called a slap in the face. Like, use different words. And I'm worried that the players might be getting to a point where they might be losing some of the support from the public. The players, Justin, need to be a little bit more careful with how they're articulating things. Because if you're working whatever job, a max salary of $1.2 million, average salary of $500,000, if you don't think it's fair, that's fine. But don't call it a slap in the face. Clark's messaging about reaching a deal contrasts perfectly with the veteran's destructive approach. She talks about wanting to play and hoping everyone can work something out. She doesn't make threats or ultimatums. She doesn't attack the owners or the league structure. Clark acts like someone who wants the WNBA to succeed instead of someone trying to burn it down. The veteran players' sabotage campaign is exposing them as the real threat to women's basketball growth. They had decades to build the WNBA into something special. They failed. Clark accomplished more in 2 seasons than they did in entire careers. Now they're trying to destroy what she built because their egos can't handle being irrelevant. Fans are choosing sides, and it's not even close. They're supporting the player who actually grows the game instead of the ones trying to tear it apart. Clark represents the future, while the jealous veterans represent everything wrong with the WNBA's past. God gave you a person, and now you're rejecting it. Y'all should be like Caesar. I appreciate you, Caitlin. Thank you. I can eat a little bit better. She got paid this. She get a signature shoe. Hey, I'm a 2-time MVP. I'm a champion. The fact that there's this much animosity about the person that's feeding you, and I'm going to say it just like she's feeding y'all at stores that y'all didn't do. So to be honest, shut up, because y'all couldn't do it. Just accept it and benefit. Be happy. Clark's NBC success shows exactly what the WNBA could become if the jealous veterans stopped sabotaging their own league. While the old guard fights to protect a failing system that nobody cared about before Clark arrived, she's building the future of basketball media. Her natural ability on television opens doors that could completely transform how the WNBA reaches new audiences and grows its brand. Clark's crossover appeal between WNBA and NBA fans creates opportunities the league never had before her arrival. She's bringing millions of new viewers who discovered women's basketball through her college career and rookie season. These fans follow her everywhere, from fever games to NBC broadcasts to social media posts. The league has never had a player who could pull NBA attention like this. Players like Lexi Hall, Aaliyah Boston, Sophie Cunningham, and Kelsey Mitchell are following Clark's lead by focusing on growth instead of grievance. They post positive content on social media. They engage with fans who just started following the WNBA. They understand that bringing new people into the sport helps everyone instead of threatening their status. Looking forward into the future, what would you like to see happen as you come to a negotiation? Well, honestly, I don't think it's just a big moment for the WNBA. I think all of women's sports. I think this is one of the biggest moments we've ever had. So, I feel very confident that we're going to get something done. And that's because we're in this moment because of the product we put on the floor. So we need to be able to continue to do that. And I know everybody's working really hard. There's a meeting tomorrow that's super important. And I truly do believe we're going to get something done here in the next couple of weeks. But like you said, there's a lot of boxes that we still need to check. We've added two new teams. There's going to be more players than ever. And then we have to get into free agency, then have a normal draft as well. So there's a lot of things left to do. But I really do feel confident that both sides are going to reach a deal here. So yeah. Clark's optimism about reaching a CBA deal shows she understands compromise and progress better than the union leaders. She talks about wanting to play basketball and hoping everyone can work something out. No threats about sitting out seasons, no ultimatums about impossible revenue demands. She acts like someone who wants the league to succeed. Her media presence is already attracting sponsors and attention that benefits every player in the league, whether they admit it or not. Nike gave her the biggest rookie deal in WNBA history. Gatorade signed her to a massive endorsement contract. Corporate partners are investing in women's basketball specifically because of Clark's star power. Every veteran player benefits from the increased salary cap and revenue sharing that comes from Clark's marketability.
Hey, Link Glax for April 13th, but the growth of the league has been so much. Can you just help us to understand the transition this league is going on right now? It's incredible.
And I remember my first WNBA game when I was a young girl. I went to the Minnesota Lynx when they had their dynasty with Maya Moore, and they were playing the Seattle Storm. And now basically any arena you go to, it's sold out. We're adding 2 teams. We're up to 14 now, and then hopefully getting to 18 in the next couple years. So, business is booming, and that's a really good thing. And we kind of just got to keep meeting the moment. The talent's getting better and better. You see it at the college level coming into the professional game too. So I feel very fortunate, and hopefully I have a long career ahead of me as well.
Well, just the 2026 Indiana Fever season represents hope for a WNBA that embraces its stars instead of trying to tear them down. Clark will return with another year of experience. Hull, Cunningham, Boston, and Mitchell will be back as her co-stars. The team chemistry they built during their playoff run can grow even stronger. Fans are already buying season tickets and planning trips to Indianapolis. Clark's journey from Iowa to NBC proves that talent and character always win. She went from college superstar to WNBA Rookie of the Year to national television analyst in less than 3 years. Each step forward happened because she focused on basketball instead of drama. She built bridges while others burned them. She embraced new opportunities while others complained about change. The future belongs to players who think like Clark instead of the jealous veterans trying to hold everyone back. Appreciate you just joining us on Basketball Night America. Appreciate it. Yeah, you get to enjoy this. I mean, what's better? She's Sunday night. You can put your slippers on. If you want to go, let's go. Guess what? Hey, she's not going to put the mic down forever. March 29th, she's back with us in OKC. But now she gets to go and enjoy the Knicks games, and we're happy for her. Clark's NBC debut proved she's not just the future of the WNBA. She's the present. The jealous veterans trying to hold her back are only exposing their own irrelevance. Every game of horse with NBA legends, every broadcast moment in Madison Square Garden, every connection she makes with basketball fans shows why she matters. The old guard can keep making impossible CBA demands and complaining about new fans, but they're fighting a losing battle. The choice is clear. Support the player who's actually growing the game, or watch the old guard destroy everything Clark has built. Get ready for 2026 because Clark and the Fever are about to show everyone what happens when talent meets opportunity. Are you excited to see Caitlin regularly on NBC? Let me know down in the comments below. Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen and we will see you in the next.
Logo threes were automatic. She was playing a different game than everyone else, operating from ranges that seemed impossible. Boom.
All right, let's end it. And you're... Good job. Great job. Whoa, that was hot.
The result didn't matter once the viral clips started spreading. Clark had proven she could hold her own against NBA royalty in front of a national audience. She showed personality, skill, and confidence that had basketball fans talking for days. The moment cemented her status as basketball's most entertaining personality, someone who could succeed on any stage the sport had to offer. Clark stepped into Madison Square Garden, carrying herself like she'd been broadcasting NBA games for years. The confidence wasn't fake or forced. She genuinely belonged on that NBC set, with basketball legends surrounding her. When she walked onto the court for Basketball Night in America, something shifted. You could feel it through the television screen. Here's a 24-year-old who just wrapped up her second WNBA season. She's sitting next to Hall of Fame players like Carmelo Anthony and Reggie Miller. Everyone watching wondered if she could handle this level of pressure. The bright lights at MSG hit different than anywhere else. The history in that building weighs on people, but not Clark.
It's a different type of buzz, and obviously when LeBron comes to town, it's probably really different. But, Knicks fans are crazy, and I love it. I love people that are passionate about basketball, so it's pretty incredible.
The way she broke down what makes that arena special showed she understood basketball at every level. She wasn't just talking about the noise or the crowd size. She was explaining how players actually experience those moments when they're warming up on the court. That's insider knowledge you can't fake. Because one of the things he said was like, "I'm thinking in my mind, let's keep them quiet." Have you gone into a big game with literally that on your mind, like walking into the arena?
Well, I feel fortunate enough. A lot of the arenas we go into, a lot of people are cheering for our team, which is pretty nice.
Clark joked about needing stilts to match her co-host's heights, but her basketball IQ was already dominating everyone in the room. She connected with Knicks fans by shouting appreciation for their energy. The passion she showed for basketball supporters revealed why she gets the game better than most people twice her age. Her comfort with live, unscripted television became obvious immediately. Every question thrown her way got handled with ease. No stammering, no long pauses, no awkward moments. She talked like she'd been doing this for decades instead of making her debut. Clark's ability to break down NBA plays while connecting them to her own game created moments that had analysts scrambling to keep up. When LeBron James tried a logo 3 during the game, the announcer said, "Caitlin Clark's in the house tonight, so he might as well try a logo 3, right?" After James missed badly, they added, "Caitlin would take care of that." Even NBA broadcasts were revolving around her presence. The Clark from the logo, look, Caitlin Clark's in the house tonight, so he might as well try a logo 3, right? Caitlin would take care of that.
Look, she proved she could analyze professional basketball at the highest level while relating those concepts to her own experiences. The insights she offered weren't surface-level observations. They were deep breakdowns that showed she studies the game constantly. Clark didn't just survive her MSG debut, she completely dominated it.